I grew up in a Mexican family, traditional Mexican family, and basically where gender roles were really defined. What was a man, what was a woman, what was man's work, all that kind of stuff was very clear to me growing up. You know, from my father's perspective, the man was basically supposed to be the breadwinner um, in terms of roles in the family, and basically take care of the household from pretty much an external perspective, everything out in the yard, um, building wise, all that kind of stuff, but nothing in terms of cleaning up the house and stuff like that. So that was a big message that I took on as a kid growing up, um, or that's something I definitely heard over and over again. At the same time, I had uh, 5 older sisters and um, a very strong mom, where um, where I learned from them what what they didn't what they didn't think a man should be. Um, they tried to teach me, and did teach me, that it was okay to do some quote unquote woman's work in the household and stuff like that. Uh, they they expressed to me, given that my sisters were a bit older than me, they expressed to me what they didn't like from their boyfriends, kind of thing, because they were like in high school when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So they kind of expressed what they wanted, what they didn't want from their boyfriends. So I kind of learned mixed messages growing up. I learned sort of what my dad thought that I should be, and then also for what my sisters and my mom thought I should be. At the same time, my dad was pretty emotionless. He taught me that even that that men don't really show their emotions, don't have to talk about their emotions, um, and he drank a lot. He was an alcoholic, so, and he was a violent alcoholic. So that's when he would show his emotions, was actually when he would drink, and usually those were anger emotions. And so so I learned, I witnessed kind of him being in pain and not being able to show his stuff, his emotions, and then put him out there kind of in an angry way when he would drink. So I kind of learned, what I didn't want to be as a man, but I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to be, what I really wanted to be as a man. So it was really mixed messages, the way I would sort of internalize them. I think over the years I overcompensated towards kind of some feminine energy, like just really um, not showing anger, not showing that, kind of being more of an emotional kid as I was growing up. Um, I was also a pretty skinny kid growing up. I was a small kid. I was one of the smallest boys in school and stuff like that. So I wasn't able to really kind of get into sports and stuff like that. I did enjoy playing them, but I wasn't very good at a lot of stuff. So I didn't go that route. So so in some ways I did kind of overcompensate on the kind of feminine energy and sort of dynamics that come from that. And what I didn't want to be, because I didn't want to be like my dad. So I do feel I overcompensated that in a way, and over the years it's really been about figuring out what that is, and being okay with expressing stuff. I think I definitely learned not to express anger, because the way I witnessed expressing anger was violent. So I pretty much bottled up anger for years, and I think what I'm doing now is learning how to be a complete man, how to you know embrace some of that feminine energy that is strongly in me because of my family, but at the same time, like, being okay with expressing anger, just like really learning how to really channel it in a positive way, not in a violent way, which is how I learned So that's kind of my challenge right now, is how do I do that, and how I can talk about it and stuff like that. Um, I think the media had another effect. I mean, I think the family was a very strong influence in my life of my shaping. But the media also, pretty much replicated some of the stuff that I learned at home. I mean, it was about um, strength. Men were strong in many aspects of it, whether they're on TV shows, in sports, you know, um, in advertisements. Uh, Men are taught to be strong and to, be big, strong, and not show emotion. So I really kind of learned that as well. I think that the media has done a really good job at reinforcing that patriarchy and those stereotypes. So, I think that, along with my family upbringing, I it kind of went hand in hand, and I really kind of, in some ways, rebelled against that. So, but without a real critical way of looking at it, and I think that now I'm critically looking at gender roles and masculinity, and being okay with actually saying that I embrace some of that feminine energy in me. So, yeah, it's really important to me, because I see just many guys kind of getting lost in that, getting lost in that stereotype, really, in that patriarchal kind of way, in that expectation that men grow up to be a certain way only. So I guess that's one of the reasons why this is important to me, and why I want to continue this dialogue, continue this going, because I think we do have to change. There's too much violence, and there's too much male violence in our life, and in our in our society. So I think that the only way to change that is to begin to change ourselves, and and go from there. So.